What's going on, guys, and welcome back finally to the vlog. Now I'm probably going to post an update video before this video goes up, so if you're interested in what's been going on in my life, I'm going to leave a link to that down below. However, if you're interested in what's going on with the TSX, what we're doing today is pretty much the whole top end of the rear end, which is going to be a lot of fun. Today behind me, guys, we have our all-season tires because it's the middle of February and I've been sliding around on summer tires all winter. And then we also have a couple parts over here. So we have our end links for our sway bar, which we are going to be putting back in the car today. If you guys remember, when we put the coilovers in, we took the sway bar out because we had to cut the links and didn't have any. And then we have some TruHart rear upper control arms. Now you guys know I love K-tuned, but unfortunately the K-tuned stuff is out of stock right now. So I went with TruHart. We're gonna try those out and that should tighten up the car a good bit. But first we have to get the old end links out of the sway bar. So let's get to work. Alright guys, so both end links are now out of our sway bar, and if you guys didn't know, these are really tricky because you're supposed to hold an Allen key in here to prevent the stud from spinning, and that's just garbage. So usually what I do is back the nut off a little bit, and then I throw vice grips on the back side here just to hold it down, and then I rip it off with an impact. Or sometimes you just gotta cut them. But that was nice and easy, so that's really good. I'm also looking at the bushings here. They seem pretty much fine. I probably should replace them while I'm out here, but that's okay. I think we're just gonna reuse them. It's just a sway bar. I honestly didn't notice a huge difference between sway bar and no sway bar. Maybe I will when we put them back in. I also did the coilovers when I took it off, so the car obviously felt entirely different. But up next, we're gonna actually jack the TSX up. I got the Malibu in the shop, but we're working on the TSX today. We're gonna jack this thing up and we're gonna get it pulled apart so we can get to work. I think instead of time-lapsing it, I'm just gonna do a magic trick. Alright guys, so this thing's actually looking pretty easy. I thought this was gonna be just like the RSX where the nuts are welded up into the chassis, but for our upper control arms here, we actually have a bolt that goes through and then there's a welded nut on the other side. Now the reason this is good is because when it's done the other way, like in the RSX, if something gets stripped or seized or snapped, it can be kind of a nightmare to get that nut. You have to literally get under the inside of the car to access the welded nut. I actually had one snap in the RSX, which was absolutely brutal. I don't know if I've ever had that on a vlog or not. I should definitely show you guys if I haven't, but these should be nice and easy. First things first, let's get all the old stuff out. All right guys, so far so good. We got every bolt for the project loose. There's our first one back there, and then we got a nut underneath here on this side, and I did want to show you as well. This boot is all torn up. This is why I got the idea to do these upper arms. It's in pretty rough shape, so hopefully this will tighten up the ride pretty well. I also got these guys under here for our sway bar on both sides undone, and I'll show you guys the other side as well. And then on the other side, I did have to disconnect the wire here for the sensor on both sides just to make a little more room. And then this is like, I don't even know what this is. If you guys want to let me know down in the comments. It's like some kind of windshield washer fluid for your subframe. I don't know, Subframe Cleaner 9000. But we got that out of the way just to make a little more room for our back bolt in there. And then we got our nut undone in front. So up next, we should be able to support the hub and get this stuff all out of here. Alright guys, so here we are with the rear upper control arms out of the car. The old ones are pretty nasty. Like I said, we had the boot like completely off this one. This is our right side here, and then our left, I've already adjusted this guy here. So we had 9.5 inches from this point on to the center of our ball joint. So we're gonna match that on this one. Now, if you're adjusting these outside of the car, the way they would do this at the alignment shop is grab on here and twist. This is a standard thread, I believe, and this is a reverse. If that's not true, it's the opposite. So what I do if I'm adjusting these outside of the car, obviously because I can't twist this, I just move this one full turn and then this one full turn until I have my 9.5 inches. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna throw these in the car. Alright guys, so with the new arms all adjusted, we're gonna throw them in the back of the car, put our sway bar in as well, let her down, and then we're gonna work on these headlights. Alright guys, so our rear upper control arms are done. Let me show you what we're working with. We had 46 foot-pounds in the back here, and then 36 to 40 something up front for our ball joint with a cotter pin underneath there. Up next, we're gonna throw the sway bar in, and we should be looking good. Alright guys, so I just wanted to quickly explain why I always prefer Moog end links over OEM. Here's why. So if you guys remember our OEM end links from the beginning of the video, the stud would spin if you rip the nut too hard without putting an Allen in the stud itself. The Moog end links actually have a little spot here that you can get a wrench onto so that your stud doesn't move. It's super convenient and makes assembly and disassembly way easier. Other than that guys, our sway bar is all mocked up. We just need to tighten everything down and we should be good to put our wheels on and let this thing down on the ground. Alright guys, so the rear end stuff is done on the TSX for the day. Now I do want to quickly jack up the front of the car as well so we can get the all seasons on the front, and then I do have some nice new headlights. Well, kind of nice new headlights. They're replicas. They're Type R replicas. I didn't want to shell out $500 for headlights for my daily, so we got some replicas. I still think they're going to be super clean, and I mean honestly, as much as I love the headlight restoration strategy that I've been using, I think it's time for this thing to go. That is awful. Alright guys, so we got our old bulbs in from the other car. This one I believe is the directional. This one, I don't even know, maybe high beams or something. But we got them out of these guys and into these new ones. Honestly, this one kind of fell apart on the inside, so I don't even think it's gonna work, but yeah, we'll pop them in and see if it does. Now for this one, this is our main headlight. We got 2 new ones because one of the times I did it, I didn't replace the whole headlight, and I don't remember which time that was, so one of our headlights was actually a different color. At least this way, both headlights will be the same color. Like I said, I'm really not sure about that directional, but I'm gonna wheel this thing back together and see what it does. All right guys, so today I learned my lesson and why we don't buy cheap knockoff parts. We did have a little bit of a situation with our headlights here. Let me show you what we got going on. So our ballast is actually not mounting up anywhere on our headlight. As you can see, we got a pretty huge gap here, a pretty huge one in the back here, and we're way off over here as well. So what I did was I did find a way to get this ballast to sit flush in at least one spot, which I think will be enough to hold it in. And unfortunately, what I had to do is I had to drill out this hole. I know this is super ugly and horrible, and I'm probably not even gonna bother fixing it. But there's a little foam ring that goes around here. I pulled that off so I could drill this all out. Makes a little bit more room for the ballast to slide in there. So with a little bit of love, we can at least get this guy to sit flush in the back, which there's gonna be gaps. It's not gonna be perfect. Probably gonna end up having to order some OEM stuff anyway, but let's get this back in the car for now. All right guys, you wouldn't believe this, but they work. Let me go around into the driver's side here, show you how to test them here at the NTNS garage. So here they are. There's our standards, same color, which is dope. We got both high beams. Then we got our left directional, as well as our right. It's kind of hard to see the right one in the door, but there's Sadie too. There it's going. So we are looking good with the headlights. Now obviously we got some work to do as far as putting the front of this car back together, so I'll show you one more magic trick. All right guys, so the TSX is all done, back on the ground. We got working low beams, high beams, directionals, and one other bulb that I checked. I forget which one it was, it doesn't matter. Anyway, I did find a couple speckles in here. That's okay. These things I think are gonna be temporary anyway. I give them like a couple days until they fog up. Actually, I probably give them like 15 minutes until they fog up. It wouldn't surprise me if they fogged right up. But anyway, guys, if you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate you watching. It's really nice back making these videos again, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching as much as I enjoy making them. Again, guys, if you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate you. Make sure you guys are subscribed for more videos just like this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Oh yeah, lesson learned, don't be cheap.